This is the story of my first experience clubbing, also known as the 5 AM train story, also known as the second longest day of my life, and also known as the day I found out another definition of Charizard. So, to set the scene, on the 13th of August 2015, teenagers from across Britain anxiously received their A-level results. These are important results that decide if you get into university or not. So I awoke that morning with an email waiting for me in my inbox. The email was from the university of my choice saying that I had surpassed the grade requirements and I'd earned a place to study there in September. Hours later, it was evident that several of my friends had also been successful with their A-level results. With that in mind, myself and a few friends planned to go out into London to celebrate both our A-level results and one of my good friends' birthday. This idiot. So at 8:20 that evening, 13 hours into my day, I made my way into London. I caught the train to Waterloo Station and began what can only be described as an unforgettable night. I met up with my friends and we made our way to a club in London. Now, okay, the club. First off, it was exactly as I expected. It was loud. It was absolutely packed with people. It was dark. And it was dirty. Very, very dirty. You literally had to shout to the person next to you, the drinks were expensive, and if you wanted to get anywhere, you'd spend your entire time walking shoulder first to get through people. Plus, some of the people on the dance floor were so drunk they couldn't even keep their eyes open or stand up straight. It was almost like a whole other culture than what I'm used to, and it was certainly an experience. After the club closed at 3 AM, we spent about an hour in this kebab shop by Leicester Square. And let me tell you, the people you meet at 3:45 in the morning in a kebab shop just by Leicester Square are interesting, to say the least. After leaving the kebab shop, we headed through the streets at London to Trafalgar Square. It was at that time that I realised that New York wasn't the only city that never sleeps. The roads were still busy with cars and there must have been about 50 or 60 people at Trafalgar Square at 4 in the morning. We climbed on top of the lines around Nelson's Column, and that was a first, really, because if you go to Trafalgar Square at any other time during the day, there's so many tourists there that you couldn't even get near the lines.
That won't be the least of my problems. That's not how you ride a line, you know it. That's true.
We continued to make our way across London, seeing all the sights that London had to offer at 4 in the morning. And at 4:30 we had reached Waterloo Station, one of the largest train stations in London. This is an area that is absolutely heaving with people throughout the entire day. But of course we were there at 4:30 in the morning, and as we arrived they unlocked the doors to the station, meaning that we were the first people to enter the station on that day, and it was literally empty. I'd never seen Waterloo like it, obviously, and it was really cool to see what is known as such a busy, bustling, frantic station with people running all over the place trying to catch a train as empty. It was really awesome to see. We boarded our 5 AM train, which pretty much stopped everywhere on the line, and we headed home. But for me... Right, well, that may be the end of my night, but it is the start of my morning. I get on a flight in a few hours' time. I walked home on that foggy Friday morning, and in less than 2 hours I was at the airport scanning the screen for my flight to Florida. And that is how I ended up where I am now, right here in the sunny state of Florida. So there you go, that's the story of my first experience clubbing, aka the 5 AM train story, aka the second longest day of my life. What was the longest day of my life, you ask? That actually happened last summer, where I travelled from the US to South Africa. I was awake for 55 hours straight. I touched 3 continents in 3 days, which was a record for me, and I'll leave a link in the end screen to the video. I spent a lot of time last summer in South Africa. It was brilliant. Great times had by all. So just to conclude the story, even though I was knackered and a club isn't really my kind of place, because, you know, I enjoy the ability to hear, if I was asked to go clubbing again, I would jump at a chance, because life's about experiences, and this certainly was an experience. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.